Unforgiven. Welcome back to Fog Wrestling. It is time to rank every single match for Unforgiven 2002. Wee bit delayed on this one, but here, better late than never, guys, ain't it? And coming in last place, in 8th place, just as bad as the graphic for the match. If you haven't seen it, go type in on YouTube, WWE Unforgiven 2002 match card. When it is showing you the match graphic for Jericho Flair, they have photoshopped the Intercontinental Championship on Jericho. I'm sure you can even tell for this image that they've done something like that, but Jesus Christ, what is this all about? What were they thinking? I've no idea what they were thinking, man, but I'll tell you what, they weren't thinking very good. But this match wasn't good. The Jericho Flair feud was not good. Their match at SummerSlam wasn't that good. This match, well, we've ranked it here worst. I'm pretty sure the one at SummerSlam was ranked pretty low as well. It's mad. You think Jericho Flair will be able to put on a good match? And to be honest, I'm not going to blame too much on Jericho. I just think it's Flair. We've talked about this 2002 run. It's not been that good. I mean, Jericho just had a match on Raw. Go check out the review. Might be up. No, it'll be up before this. Him and Kane, great match for the IC title. This match, not so much. Up next, though, in 7th place, we have got Molly Holly taking on Trish Stratus. In this era of wrestling, it kind of just is a win for a women's match to actually be this high up the card. But Trish Stratus defeated Molly Holly. Seems like these are the only two, though, that have been feuding on Raw for the women's belt. And it was a match that only went 5 minutes, 46 seconds. It was kind of surprising, but it was an alright match, to say the least. But, this was one of the last Unforgiven pay-per-views to have both wrestlers. Both Raw and SmackDown 2003 was exclusively for the Raw brand. So there you go, man. What's that all about? But this was a decent match between Trish Stratus and Molly Holly, and we're going to move into 6th place. And talking of both brands, we did have 3-minute warning defeating Billy and Chuck, and of course that meant Stephanie McMahon had to perform hot lesbian action, which resulted in her making out with Rikishi dressed in drag. So that was a rare laugh, wasn't it? But this match, it should have been better than what it was, but 3-minute warning are just so much better at beatdowns than what they are at actually having a match. They are very green at this point, but it is what it is. Up next, we've got Edge taking on Eddie Guerrero. And of course, Eddie Guerrero defeats Edge. Now, the last match, I believe, against each other would be the following SmackDown. I think, I wouldn't bet that's their last ever match, but, of this feud that they're in. And that match was good, even though I think the first half of the no DQ match was a wee bit boring. But it kind of just falls into the Jericho Flair trap of where we've just seen this match. It's overdone. Like, this Guerrero Edge feud, it's not really over anything. Like, there's no real story behind it. And this match was just a bit bland. Guerrero wins like that. It was like he was using the tights, wasn't he? He was bouncing on the ropes. Guerrero wins. It's like in the end of the feud, and then Edge wins anyway. Moving on, though, to the Un-Americans taking on Bubba Ray Dudley, Booker T, Kane, and Goldust. Bubba Ray and Goldust and Booker T probably deserve better than this match. And even by this point, the Un-Americans, they'll split up pretty soon, pretty quickly. Later down the line, I mean, this was a good match. You know what? This kicked off the show. A multi-man match should probably always kick off the show. And as good as the match was, the ending, guys, by God, the ending was very, very lackluster, to say the least. It was just a bit of a sloppy ending. And without that, could have been rivaling for the number 1 spot. Maybe not the number 1 spot, but hey, that's where it's going to come in here on this list. And the Un-Americans, guys, looks like they're no more. Looks like they lost the tag belts to Hurricane and Kane, and that's it, they're done. But here, they held the belts here, but they didn't defend them here. Would have been interesting if they were on the line in this match. But anyway, moving in to 3rd position, we have got the World Heavyweight Championship, the last match from Raw. On this list, coming in 3rd place, we've got Triple H defending his title against Rob Van Dam. It was an alright match, right? But, they tried to wrestle it in a very similar style to what Benoit and Angle did. And when you see those two do it compared to these two, it's night and day. The finish was screwy. Ric Flair cost Van Dam, but Flair again, at this point, it was just so obvious what he was doing. He was going to hit Van Dam. Man, you knew it was coming a mile before it actually happened. So that element of the match definitely sucked. Up next, though, we've got The Undertaker. We've got The Undertaker taking on Brock Lesnar for the WWE Undisputed Championship. And hell, I really enjoyed this match. I really, really did. But I think the last 5 minutes sucked. When I say sucked, maybe I use that a wee bit too strongly, but you've got these two like throwing punches. I don't know what it was. I don't know if Taker, like, he had a collapsed lung or something, but his punches were looking very cheap and fake. Now Brock continued to sell his ass off. I think Brock is one of the best sellers of all time for me. He is. He's fucking phenomenal. Like his style of selling is so unique. I know when you think of selling, you do think to like Shawn Michaels, etc. Even Bubba Ray's a brilliant seller as well, but Brock here. But it ends in a double disqualification because they're punching each other. Such a cheap ending, and then like the way the match, like the pay-per-view just goes off the air is Taker throwing Brock through the Titantron, which is a good moment, but the end of pay-per-view, not too sure. But then first guys, it's Chris Benoit against Kurt Angle. Benoit gets the tights, he wins, but it's a Kurt Angle, but Chris Benoit match. You'd be struggling here. You would be struggling not to pick this as your number one match. These two always deliver, whether it be a ladder match or did these two even have a ladder match? Did they? They might not. I'm pretty sure they did. Or did they not? Doesn't really matter. Ladder match or no ladder match. Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit are phenomenal technical wrestlers. And it's really all you could ask for in a technical masterclass. But anyway, like I said, Van Damme and Triple H tried to replicate this, and they couldn't, guys. So leave your thoughts down below, and until next time, peace.